Good morning, everyone. This is Srikant Rajan, and welcome back to the Stock Market Podcast from MPIinvest.com. Well, the market is rallying and continuing to rally. It's actually crossed 18,800 yesterday. It touched a high of 18,816. And then, oh my God, finally settled at 18,756. But was that the end of it? Well, actually, you should see, right? I mean, if you've not seen the chart, you should actually open the chart and see. At 3 p.m., there was a scandal that came in, and that just continued up and up and up, almost 100 points in just about 15 minutes. That was the kind of power we could see. Of course, there's no surprise that definitely the money was pumped in by only the FIIs. Yes, do you know something? I don't remember the last time FIIs bought so big. Can you guess how much? Generally, they used to buy about 2-3,000 crores. Once in a while, it goes to 5 to 6,000 crores. Yesterday, they have bought for 9,000 crores. 9,000 crores. What are you saying? In one day. And that was probably pumped in exactly at 3 p.m. Till then, they've not done anything. What a rally. Oh my God. In fact, it put us all into trouble, especially the option sellers like us have been put into trouble because of this. The big such movement in just 15 minutes is like very bad for traders. And the worst thing is, when the movement is so fast, no kind of traders can ever take a trade also because they don't even have time after 3 p.m. to actually, hold the trade, exit the trade within 3:30. So that is the kind of, power. In fact, we have been seeing this, right? Like every Thursday on the expiry day, we've been seeing a 3 p.m., right? At 3 p.m., a big buying or a big selling coming in. And that is by the FIAs. Now, what is happening right now is that they're bringing to more of the end of the day probably because, there are so many retail traders around. They just want to push them off and don't want them to get in the trade along with them. So probably that is what is happening. And 9,000 crores is something that I'm still not able to digest, right? So if that was not enough, the worst thing is after Indian market closed, we could see the US market. In fact, US market was kind of flat in the initial stage. But this morning when I woke up, there comes yet another shocker. The US market has rallied again yesterday night after, we were expecting the Federal Reserve Chairman, Mr. Jerome Powell, to come out and talk about the monetary policy. And he indeed came out and spoke and said that the monetary policy has been, they've been planning to ensure that the hikes, the future hikes would be reduced. So all these while they've been hiking like 0.75 basis point and 0.5. So, that they would be reducing that 0.75 basis, per 0.75% increase. And it will be reducing down as the economy is now kind of, seeing some signs of recession and some tightness in the economy. And that actually came out as a good news. And we could see the US market rallying. Dow Jones, S&P 500, all was up. In fact, NASDAQ was up by 4% in a day. Yet again. But then you'll be worried with NASDAQ up 4% and US market up so much. Will the Indian market see a big gap up? Luckily, I don't think that can happen because, Indian market, last 4 days, US market has been consolidating and closing in slight negative. And yesterday was the day that they finally actually came up. Whereas Indian market has been continuously hitting record highs every day in the last 4 days. So that means Indian market is kind of already up. So there's no reason for Indian market to actually gap up more. But do you know something interesting that happened? This morning when I woke up and saw SGX Nifty was already at 19,000. Yes, SGX Nifty was at 19,000 this morning. And from there has been kind of staying constant. It just came down slightly, 18,994. And of course, it has been always trading about 100 to 150 points higher since the last few days. So that, does not mean that Indian market can open at 19,000. But then, of course, we could see a slight gap up opening from yesterday's close. That is, yesterday we closed at around 18,750. So probably we could see opening close to 18,850. So that could be, a big rise that we could see. But then in this kind of situation, what could happen? So we could see that majority of the positions were long. That is, majority of the people must have been sitting with long positions, which means that with such a gap up opening, there could be some profit booking. And initial profit booking, but then again that could settle down by afternoon probably, and then again probably a rise. However, volatility is here to stay. So that's something that needs to be watched. Things are going to be a little tough for traders for this kind of days. So let's see how we make the best out of it. So that's something we need to see, as a expiry. And this is the first expiry of December. In fact, December has 5 expiries. This is the first one. So we've got 4 more expiries. Let's see how things go. So in fact, MPI community has been having a winning streak in the trading club for almost now 10 weeks. We completed 10 weeks of profitable trading. So will this week actually go into negative is something that we need to see. But then yes, let us just come in with more power. We'll go with less aggressive trades. We are still not in negative for this week. So let us see how we can make it profitable, or at least a break even in such a tough market. So that's something that I'm looking forward to today. Of course, we are positive. We will be positive. Market goes anywhere, we will still try to make money out of it. That's exactly what we have in mind, right? So if you look at the market yesterday, what drove up yesterday? So market has been taking turns. So first we had the IT rallying. Next day we could see the FMCG sector rallying. Yesterday we could see major power coming in from Mahindra and Mahindra. Mahindra and Mahindra was up by 4%. Right, yesterday, which I'm sure should have added some good profits to your kitty, because we had added Mahindra just few days back, I guess. So I'm sure all of you must be happy with the profits there. Portfolio is looking good. At least it is those selective stock buying that is happening right now with such huge buying. I would say portfolio is still looking good, but major power is actually seen in the blue chip stocks and the large caps, because the FII buying is generally more of in the large caps and blue chip. That's what is seen now. Small cap and mid cap is yet to catch up. In fact, when large cap starts building up so much, what can happen is, because institutions don't, especially the FIs, don't invest much into small caps and mid caps. So it needs more of a retail power to actually go into mid cap and small cap. So there are chances that slowly mid cap and small cap also will try to catch up with the blue chips. So that could also happen in the upcoming weeks or months. But however, like I told you, December has no reason for the market to rally, just that the FII buying is actually taking the market up all this while. But then, is this rally here to sustain? This is the big question. So, which I've been talking about since yesterday also, I told you. So, right now the market is in actually overbought zone. So, it is actually time that Nifty actually corrects a little bit before the next leg of rally. So, in fact, we know the result season is starting in January again. So December is generally a dull month, especially the last week of December. Volumes go down as the institutions also go on a vacation during Xmas. So these are things that can happen. So initial first few weeks would be something that we need to see, and especially if the last week we could see the major volatility kicking in, because the volumes will go down by year end. So these are things which can actually affect the market this month. So December is starting off with so much power in the market. Let's see how things go in December. However, if you look at November was an amazing month for all the Gold Club members, as we made some amazing profit. In fact, one of the best months since this financial year, since April, I would say. So there was something really good. So one thing I would say is, right now, as I look at Asian markets are all in the positive territory. Even the Hong Kong market, Japan, everybody's in positive territory. That actually looks good. So Indian market also now has to be in the positive. We could expect a gap up opening close to 18,800, or between 18,800 and 18,200. Sorry, 18,800 and 18,820. So around this range is something that I'm expecting the market to open. Let's see how things go, and let's look forward to some good investment and returns in the equity market. So with that, for today, the trading range, I would say on the lower side, 18,600 now would be the most important support, and on the higher side, we could probably expect 19,000. So 19,000 is a higher side, and on the lower side, we could expect 18,600. So with this plan, we are planning some trades for the day. Let's see how the market goes, and let's look out to turn profitable, or at least break even in this tough situation. So with that, this is Srikant signing off. But before we leave, do remember to press the like button if you love the content that we share, and do share this podcast with your friends and relatives to help them learn and invest together with us. With that, have a profitable day. See you in the market.